Well, this week in our School Matters series, we're focusing on the price of college admission, especially when you play by the rules. Many high school seniors and their parents are waiting for decisions from admissions offices. This morning, we head to Long Beach, California to meet Gilbert Viveros. He's one of many high school guidance counselors trying to match prospective college students with the best school possible.
So you want me to look at what again? As a college counselor, wait, what? I am the point person that opens up their eyes. Don't sweat it right now. As to what opportunities they may have. Let's find you some material for Santa Barbara. Give them clarity on the admissions process. So you're able to log in?
Yeah.
And maneuvering the labyrinth of college admissions. Yes, they can go to your Stanfords, your UCLAs, your Yales. But at the end of the day, are you gonna feel comfortable? Are you gonna feel supported? Haha, look at that. Santa Barbara. It's great to have those strong alumni networks, but it's also a bonus when you can actually pave your own way. Have you done this? Yes, I have. They need to learn how to advocate for themselves, know how to be able to have cold conversations with individuals that they've never met. We have to teach them these skills because they're so digitized that they don't really engage the world as much as I, for example, did. Check that your phone number is correct. It's about inspiring and motivating and telling them that it's possible. Click on the green arrow and that they belong somewhere. You gotta admit it. Yes, you gotta admit it.
I've been trying to
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Sara Harberson is a former Associate Dean of Admissions at the University of Pennsylvania and former Dean of Admissions and Financial Aid at Franklin and Marshall College. She now provides college counseling and advice on her website, admissionsrevolution.com. Sara, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a parent who's been through this 3 times now. I might have helped write a couple of college application essays. I won't confess to it. But and whenever I was helping, I was wondering, what is it that colleges want? What are they looking for?
We have to remember these admissions officers, they're going to be reading sometimes hundreds of applications a day, thousands a week, so you want to surprise them and you want to move them. And students should be themselves and they should be proud of it. And any student who's doing something a little bit differently is going to stand out to those admissions officers. So I look for, when I'm working with students, I want not just the doers, but the future trailblazers. Those are the students that admissions officers get really excited about.
And let's not kid ourselves, though. It has become much more competitive, even just over the past decade or so, right?
Absolutely. You know, the admit rates at most of the highly selective colleges at this point are in the single digits.
Yeah.
And I remember being at the University of Pennsylvania when the admit rate was about 20%, and I felt like none of my kids, I would call them kids, none of my kids are getting in. And that was when the admit rate was about 20%, and now it's single digits.
Are y'all looking at our social media? I mean, you know a lot of kids are thinking about that.
You know, admissions officers usually don't have too much time to look at a student's social media accounts, but 2 scenarios that they would possibly look at it is if the student makes it known all over their application and they put in links to their website, or if they're a blogger or a vlogger, they would provide it. And so an admissions officer would click on the link. Or just simply that they're nosy and they have the time and curiosity to go check things out, or check out who their parents are. Sometimes that happens as well.
Oh.
Admissions on. Go ahead.
Well, we had an official from Stanford here at the table yesterday who said that they were surprised by this scandal because, as she put it, she didn't think anybody from Stanford could be bought. Were you surprised by this college scandal?
I was not surprised.
Why not?
I think because there are a handful of parents across the country that not only help their kids with little things in the application process, but that they go too far. And sometimes they are living out their dreams.
Do you think it's been going on for a long time?
I do.
Why?
I really do. Because
and how has it been able to do this for such a long time?
The admissions process at most, especially the selective colleges, it's very private. It's all done behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Once in a while, we would have a visitor or reporter come in and observe admissions committee, and we would basically admit everyone and spend plenty of time talking about these great regular kids. But the fact is, as soon as that reporter left, or as soon as we had to cut back because we had to make room for other students who were well connected, those wonderful regular kids would get pulled out of the class.
Do you think the schools themselves are complicit in any way?
Well, it is up to the admissions office, right, to still review that application, even if it is a recruited athlete, even if it is a well-connected child of a celebrity or a politician. it is up to an admissions officer to read through that application carefully in the same way that they review every other application.
So the best way to get into a school, do you have to have good grades? Do you have to have outstanding extracurricular activities? What do you have to do to get into the school of your dreams?
So you have to be competitive on an objective level, right? They've got to have the right classes. They have to have the right grades, and near perfect grades for these highly selective schools, and high test scores. That's just that's just basic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's all the other pieces of the application that really give it texture and flavor.
Admissions office label applicants as tagged and untagged. I had never heard that. What is that?
Yeah, so I use that a lot when I write and when I speak about college admissions. If a student is a recruited athlete, is a child of a big donor, or knows someone, their application is usually tagged. And the admissions officer, even if it's a young 22-year-old admissions officer right out of college, they know you have to be really careful with that application. And that application will get many different sets of eyes.
Tag, like let this person in tagged?
Yes,
Wow.
and once they get admitted, they can't be moved out of the class. There is a sculpting process that happens after all the applications are read and evaluated. Last 2 weeks before decision letters go out, lots of movement happens. Students who are not tagged probably get pulled out of the class to make room for more of those tagged kids.
A lot of intricacies happen behind closed doors. Good to have you on to break some of those down. Thank you.
Thanks
Great
so
to
much.
see you.